Welcome back to Wembley Arena here in London and Game 3 between SKT and AHQ. Going to jump right into this. Let's remember that these teams are swapping back to their original sides. Blue for SKT, red for AHQ. So I kind of want to re-hit the pick ban because we've seen so often that the red side is on, you know, the sorry end of the ban side, in which they can only ban out one champion other than Mord and GP. SKT, though, threw that curious Mord ban out the first time around.
Yeah, and then they ended up getting an Azir and a Ryze ban on their side. I feel like SKT, you shouldn't ban the Mord. You should just let them ban the Mord, make them have only one ban. And I feel like that was just a little, like...
It's a mind game.
It's a mind game, right? Like, maybe they'll do it next time, maybe they won't. I don't know.
It's like, look, we can beat you so hard, we're going to ban the champions for you. That's the kind of style. And then they're thinking, like, wow, that's very offensive. You're getting into our heads.
Yeah, do they go with Azir? Do they go with Ryze? I think that's the biggest one for me with their one ban. I think Ryze is more dangerous right now.
Yeah. Well, a small take on picks and bans from us. We're going to throw it over to Shox and crew to get some more insight before the game.
Yeah, because of course we also want some more insight from especially Clement, because it's looking dire right now for AHQ. When you look at the picks and bans coming out of Game 2, we did see the Tristana coming out, but as you pointed out, that early game pressure wasn't able to come out. What's the next step for AHQ? They're truly with their backs against the walls.
I feel like AHQ has that Japanese anime dynamic to them. They only have one skill, and a lot of times the bad guy's gonna punish them, and they're gonna be like, why are you keep on using that one skill? But that's all they have, that's all they know. I think they're just gonna go on at it, and hopefully it's gonna work better this time.
Yeah, the thing is, especially in Game 2, it really showed the level of skill the SK Telecom players. So to me, there's a mark of a truly amazing player, and it's when they react perfectly to a situation they've never been in before. Like, a good team or a great team can do a lane swap perfectly, and they can prep a dragon correctly because you put wards down in the right spots, and it's generally easy for worlds of this caliber. But when Marin sees a dive and goes through the Tristana, and gets out, and Faker TP's the right time to catch a Darius. When SKT plays so ridiculously well with the lead, where they never get caught out if they do flashes up because they get caught so rarely, and yet they're always behind you somehow. SKT as individual players are so remarkably smart about this game. When it comes to the mid game, it's almost impossible to get it past.
And on top of everything that we had seen already with the 6-0 group stage, Faker really had a fantastic game as well. Last game on Ryze, where he went 7-0 on Ryze, a 10 KDA. And it's just adding to all of the troubles for HQ right now, even though that was a lane matchup that they didn't expect to win. Krubs was saying in the post-game that HQ needs to try and pick good lane matchups for a change and stay in those lanes. What do you think? Do they have the individual skill, maybe aside from mid lane, because we know that that might go south, to make that work?
I think the big thing here is that if they can play a bit more proactively, they've been really on the back step for most of these games. I think going back to the normal EU-style lanes might help them. Like, I think a Mountain has last time at MSI, he did very well at snowballing that bot lane. That's really what they're banking on. SKT might try to punish them top lane, but they just gonna have to take that trade. It's kind of like the EDG situation, see if they can just penetrate the bot lane.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's on Mountain. I think it's on targeting a lane that's going to work out. At some point in pick and ban, you can guarantee yourself a counter pick lane and a good aggressive jungler because they're not getting targeted that heavily. Mountain's getting something good no matter what. So finding one place to pressure, hoping this setup works and getting that one guy ahead. I mean, it is a tall task for AHQ, but a seed of the game, like in the early game, and you hope to grow that into a victory tree.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. As you have, of course, read all the comments as well. How are AHQ going into this matchup? Had they foreseen that this might possibly happen, and what was their mindset?
Well, I think that they knew that this was going to be a Herculean task. It's going to be very hard for them to win, but they're looking at Season 2. They're looking at TPA as their kind of inspiration. If we're here to win it all, it doesn't matter who we're going to face in this quarterfinals. We just have to go past them.
Yeah, they have to turn it on, but Freak, maybe finally, before we go into the game, SKT looking unstoppable.
I mean, really, that's kind of the case. You mentioned Herculean task. I mean, right now, AHQ are up against the Hydra. If they knock off one head, there's still two more they have to take down before they can ever actually win this matchup. The reverse sweep can happen, but the odds are, of course, incredibly slim because SKT just are so incredibly good as a team.
Well, we are going to go ahead and head into Game 3, but before we go, we're going to listen to Marin as he talks about coming into this matchup as the absolute favorites.
지금 부담감이 없다고는 말 못하겠고요. 지금까지 SK T1이 우승도 여러 차례 했고 롤드컵도 이미 한 번 우승했기 때문에 그런 시선을 받는다고 생각하는데 그것 때문에 더 열심히 하게 되는 것 같아요. 부담감은 조금 그렇게 심하진 않고 네, 조금 있는 것 같아요. 그 부담감 때문에 오히려 더 좋게 성적이 나오는 걸 수도 있어요.